all unmute.
Okay,
Hello.
I can see Udem. Who's
Hi.
there?
The sales warrior is here.
Hi.
Sharing. Wonderful.
Hi.
How you doing? How you doing?
Hi.
Coach Phil.
Hi, John
Hi,
Conrad.
how you doing?
The energy is crazy.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Eric Solana.
Hi, Coach Phil. This is Gladys.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
The
What's
sales
up?
warrior is here.
Yes.
Hello.
Good to see
All
you.
right. Okay. Gladys White, how you doing? Good to see you.
Gladys is at Lekumburu on the mountains. I'm on a hill of Lekumburu National. Sorry, there's a lot of wind behind.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, Betty. Let's do this. Okay, this is the last part of the picture that you're going to see of me. The rest of it is going to be on the slides. All right. Betty, like I said to you, this face is expensive. It takes time to make it look this good. So if you want to engage and indulge with it, you got to pay the price. Okay. Betty, thank you so much for the introduction. I am going to rock and roll straight away. And I'm going to start by saying, yes, it is nice to be here. I am nice to be here. I am hoping that by the time I'm back, me very much. And I say that with all total openness and sincerity, because if I finish this session and you all like me, then I have not done my job. One of the greatest challenges we have as a species is our comfort zone. And until somebody touches the wound where it hurts the most and pushes you out of it, you never, ever, ever move. So when they talk about reinventing reinventing yourself for high performance, there's only one thing that comes into my mind, and that is the discipline to do whatever it takes. We say that again, the discipline to do whatever it takes. But most importantly, that discipline comes with something that, again, many people are not willing to do. Many people are not willing to go through, and that is the pain that it takes to be disciplined. The pain that it takes to be disciplined. I am going to do whatever it takes to see that I can share with you what I have come up with over the last 18 years of being at the top end of high performance for individuals and CEOs and all those people. But most importantly, I want us to talk about life today. I want us to talk about you and your life. And during that, if I am going to be your coach with your permission, I'm also going to be allowed to challenge you, because coaching is not just about telling you what it is. No. With the man in the mirror, and so Betty, next slide. When we talk about reinventing self for high performance, I'm going to share with you the key components that you have to understand, embody, and implement in order to become who you really want to become. Now, please note that the last 5 years I've been obsessed with finding out why do most people not get what they want in life, even if they seem to be doing everything that they ought to be doing. And that obsession has taken me on a journey of some deeply engaging and deeply awareness conversations with some people who are at the top of their games. And one of the things I discovered lately is that there's so many people who are deluded with this statement of who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And I'm here to say to you what I said to Betty those many years ago, but now I'm even much more congruent, and I am on a mission to get everybody that I ever meet to stop asking that question, because it's irrelevant. Who you are has nothing to do with where you're going. Who you are has nothing to do with your future. If you want to become a high performer, you must let go of some of your baggage. Let me say that again. If you want to become a high performer, the kind of person who does whatever it takes to get to where you need to go, you must let go of your baggage. And one of those is your, what is the word? Is you're so caught up in the past, you're so caught up on the question of who you are, and you're missing the point. The point is not who you are. The point is, who are you becoming? Now, in the pursuit of high performance, I am going to be teaching, and I'm going to be telling you some metaphors and probably some stories, depending on how much time I have. By the way, I must warn you, I am paid to speak. So I could speak until tomorrow, even if Betty stopped paying me. Is she paying? Well, yeah, even if she stopped paying me, Betty, stop laughing. But you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a story. About 4 years ago, I went to do a session with a good friend of mine in South Africa called Cobus. And when we were down there, one of my roles was to do one-on-one coaching with the people who are learning to do firework. And one afternoon, we had a bust out. We had a lady, she was doing a training, da-da-da-da-da. And then somewhere in the afternoon, she just bust out and just threw the biggest tantrum in the world, because Koba said something in the lines of, if you guys want to go to the next level, you're going to have to pay or something like that. So she lost it. She stood up and said, I'm sick and tired of you, motivational speakers and people like you, because all you do is use us as your piggy banks. And she went on for about 20 minutes. Now, there was an urge from all the other coaches to go in and stop her. And I said to them, stop. Don't even touch her. Let her pour her heart out. But most importantly, let her reveal who she really is. Now, you might be wondering, where's this story going? Stay with me for a second. After she had been done with her big tantrum, by the way, she was also very, I don't know, and anyway, it doesn't matter whether you're from South Africa or not. She was a very big time racist, okay? Unfortunately for her, she had not met a person like me. So eventually all these guys are like, oh my God, you know how white people can be, oh my God, she's so upset, oh my God, oh my God. So I go to her and I say, hey, listen, I totally appreciate where you are, but can we go outside and have a chat? So we go outside and then she tells me, look, I have spent over $22,000 on courses, on all this stuff, and it doesn't work. And I said, you're right. Now she was surprised because I said, you're right, because I think she assumed that it's probably not going to be, it's going to be another, so I said, yeah, you're very right. And then I said to her, have you noticed that there are other people who have bought these courses and things have happened for them? He said, well, I don't care, but for me, they don't work. And I said, have you also noticed that 90% of the people fail, which is where you are, and a certain 10% make it happen? And you're not in the 10%. And then she was like, what do you mean? It is you guys who come up with courses that don't work. I said, yeah, you're right, they don't work. Because Edison said, you know what? Whether you think it works or you don't think it works, you are right. Now, why do I start there? You have 59 people in here, which is amazing. Out of those 50, 10 people are going to take some notes and change their lives. The other 50 are listening passively. The other 50 are going to blame the course and coach and Jennifer and everybody else and Betty and what. Others are here for entertainment. So make sure you give them some entertainment. Others are here because they're curious. The majority are here because they are passengers. My question to you today, Elizabeth, what are you here for? Are you passively learning? By the way, how many of you are here but you're also looking at your phones and then you're cooking and then you're in the kitchen and then the kid is pulling your leg and then you're doing something on the other computer? I can guarantee that the results you're going to get are going to be exactly the way you are showing up. The first point of high performance is show up 110%. Yes, I went through a story, but that is how I teach. This lady was throwing a tantrum and blaming everybody else, but the first thing you got to do when it comes to high performance is take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, who is in charge of my results in life? And whoever you see in the mirror is the answer. So ask yourself, who is in charge of my life right now? And then if you don't have the answer, just go to the mirror. Okay? And then number 2, let us go and say, okay, these are the things that you have to understand. First, you've got to understand yourself. Okay? Second, you must stop asking who are you, because it doesn't matter who you are. What matters is who you are becoming. Because for a high performance person, you must realize that the only way to go to the next level is to reinvent yourself for the next level. Let me also say that the reason you're dreaming and you have all these big dreams, but you're not there yet, is because you haven't earned the right to be there yet. I'm going to get there shortly. Betty, my next slide, please. So, it doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true, because with work, that will become true. Let me say that again. It doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true, because with work, that will become true. The last 5 years of my deep work, where I've gone away from doing a lot of the seminars and stuff like that, is because I want to go deeper into the psychology of why certain people get results and why certain people don't. And one of the most important things I've learned is that, number one, your past doesn't matter, but most importantly, things seem impossible in the beginning. But with work, belief, and time, everything is possible. Let me say that again. Things seem impossible in the morning, but with work, belief, and time, everything is possible. Betty. So, when we talk about high performance, ladies and gentlemen, it is not, everybody has been going on about high performance. Everybody says high performance, but, we got to learn the deeper stuff. Some people are always looking at the positive stuff, okay, where the light is. But I'd like you to take a minute and look in the darkness once in a while, because sometimes our answers are in the darkness. Sometimes we have to go to the darkness to be able to realize that, hey, the light is there, but we got to deal with the darkness sometimes. I want to share with you one of the reasons that you're not achieving your goals right now. I want to bring into your life, into your awareness, something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. We say that again. The state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. Have you felt sometimes like you do some things and you make one step ahead and then 3 back? Do you sometimes feel like there's some self-sabotage? You do something and then you self-sabotage yourself. You get on a diet and then after 4 weeks, you've done well, you've lost a couple pounds, and then the next 2 weeks you go and binge and eat junk and then you take 3 steps back. Do you sometimes feel like you save a little bit of money and then somewhere when the money is getting to that level where it is becoming comfortable, boom, something happens and you spend all of it? That is cognitive dissonance, because one of my greatest teachers on the planet, T. Harv Eker, says, your thoughts and beliefs, your thoughts become your beliefs become your actions become your results. The reason, ladies and gentlemen, that we as a species, especially people, by the way, I'll tell you, most of you are personal development junkies on here, okay? You are reading everything in the world. You have so many freaking books, but there's more books than there is action. Because you're looking for the secret, you're looking for that one thing. No, there's no one thing. There's only one thing, taking action on whatever you believe in. The reason you don't have your dreams and stuff is because the beliefs and thoughts that you have are inconsistent with what you want. Let me explain. Betty, next slide. Let me explain. You have a disconnect inside of you. You haven't learned the right. Now, the reason I start here is that there's no point of me giving you the points of becoming a high-performance person if we don't discuss what is the foundation. And that is where we usually go wrong as mental speakers, trainers. We don't look at the mindset, the psychology of doing stuff. We give people tools and then they go wrong. You haven't earned the right, because this is what happens. You get up every morning and you say to yourself, you know what? I want to start a consulting business. I want to look good. I want to build my business. I want to build my business to $10,000 a month. I want to lose weight. I want to have a great relationship. I want to bring up great kids. I want to take my family to great places. I want to do this. I want to get fit. I want to do all this stuff. But then this is what happens. This is what happens. You say, I'm going to do this stuff. But then on the other side, that is what this picture shows. You sleep too much. You drink too much. You spend more time watching silly things and series and doing things that have nothing to do with your dreams. You say you want to help 10,000 people, but you spend more time watching Telemundo. You say you want to lose weight, but when nobody's watching, you're eating junk and ice cream and all this stuff. Why? Because there's a disconnect between what you want and what you do. You must earn the right, ladies and gentlemen, by making sure that your dreams and character are in alignment. That means that you take charge of your life. When you say, I am going to do this, you do it. And That means that you are in charge of your character. That is the first part of high performance. It is not who you are, it is who you're becoming. It has nothing to do with where you come from. It has everything to do with where you're going. But first, you must get the cognitive dissonance out by saying, you know what? I am in charge. When your character says to you, hey, it is too early, don't get out of bed. You turn around and say, who is in charge? You get up, and the next day you get up even earlier. When your character says, oh no, don't work out too hard today. You know what? Just do 1 hour. You turn around and say, no, I'm actually going to do 3 hours. Why? That is how you earn the right. The reason you don't have your dreams yet is because there's cognitive dissonance. You are not in alignment with your dreams. You say you want to, but you do the opposite. Now, if you're uncomfortable and you don't like what I'm saying right now, thank you, because that is what I love. Because then you're going to know, you're going to take some real personal reflection and say, whoa, what's going on here? Now, Betty, let's go to the next one. So now with that out of the way, let us look at reinventing yourself for high performance and earning the right to have your dreams. Remember, you have to earn the right. The reason you don't have those dreams yet, you haven't earned the right. You haven't done the work. You haven't gotten to that level where you actually have earned the right to earn $10,000. Why? You are not in congruence psychologically. Some of the things that are going to help you to get that psychological side going and earning your dreams are, number one, you must have a clear decision. Number two, you must be very clear on what it is you want and why you want it. Then you must be willing to pay the price. This is where us as a species have a problem. And then you must pay the price. Most importantly, you must love the process. You must get feedback. You must reiterate and repeat. Last time I was speaking to the mastermind group and I introduced a little bit of this. And today I'll just give you, as much as I can. It might not be as deep, but these are the things that high performers do. These are the things that will get you to begin to align your dreams in line with who you want, in line with what you need to do. I had a coaching session with a young man yesterday. And the young man came to me. This is a very, very, very bright young man. He's at the top of his game when it comes to education. He has got all kinds of degrees, all kinds of masters and all these things. And he tells me, you know what, coach, I've decided I'm going to open up my own consultancy. And I told him, yeah, you came to me with your mom about, 4 years ago, and you wanted to do this, and we are still here. You haven't done it. I said, why haven't you done it? He said, well, it hasn't been urgent. I said, what makes it different now? He said, oh, mama stopped giving me money. I said, okay, thank God, because I told you 4 years ago. But that's besides the point. So I tell him that you're going to have to, number one, sacrifice. You're going to have to do something different. So I told him, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go home and write down for me the vision of the consultancy you want. Because he went and studied on Wall Street, by the way. And he wants to be an investment banker, something like that. Yes. I said to him, you're going to go and do some research for me on who the best investment bankers are on the planet. Which companies are looking to invest in Africa, what your proposition is going to be for them, and how you're going to create a team of people who can be looked up to. I told him, you go and do that, and I want it in my email this morning by 7. He said, no problem. He goes home. I don't hear from him. I didn't check my email at 7. No. Okay. Why? I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I checked my email at midday. There was nothing. And then he calls me at 2 o'clock and says, oh, shoot. Coach, I'm sorry, I forgot. I said, why? He said, when I left you yesterday, my friend had a birthday in Munyonyo. I said, wonderful. I said, what happened? He said, well, we went to Munyonyo and I spent the night there. So I just told him, do not ever call me again unless you are willing to pay the price for your dreams. And I put the phone down. He called me back. I put it down again. He has tried to call me back 15 times. I refused to answer the phone. His mom has called me. I told her, until you're willing to learn to pay the price, do not call me. If you're not willing to understand, to pay the price, as a human being, do not even bother. Now, yes, I know some of you, this is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's the truth. So number one for high performance, you must create routines in your life. You must create situations where having routines in your life is essential to your growth. Without morning, evening routines, without self-education, without personal development, we would become static. Accept that learning more about yourself and attaining new knowledge is never-ending journey. The reason you're attracted to Betty is because she's got an amazing story and she can help you to go to the next level. But don't just listen to her. Do what she does. Yes, she's an amazing mom. Yes, she's got a great family, but she has routines and she knows it. And every time that you create routines in your life, it increases your ability to move closer to your goals. I will share with you a few of my routines that I do, but more importantly, I'm going to share with you the 3 routines that high performers use both the morning and evening. And if you can put them in your life and they help you, great. Number 1, you wake up earlier than everybody else. Mine has been at 4:30 a.m. for the last I don't know how many years. But that is not easy for everybody. There are some people who are morning people, and some people who are evening people. If you're not an early person, there's some people, for example, I had a mentor, very rich guy, but he always woke up at 10 o'clock, at 10 a.m., but he always went to bed at midnight. So, you have to know who you are, where you are. When you wake up, before you touch your phone, and this is your biggest challenge, most of you wake up and the first thing you do is go to your phone. And when you go to your phone, what are you looking at? WhatsApp. And what is that doing? The first thing you're doing in the morning is you're going into some other people's stuff, some other people's knowledge, some it is, what's the word? It's a dopamine injection for you. You are so addicted to it that you're not in church. Last time I shared with the guys in the mastermind, I said, put your phone in the living room and then put the alarm to be so loud. 2 things. Number 1, you will get up much earlier because when you walk to the living room, it's harder for you to come back and go back to bed. Number 2, you can't press snooze in the bed in the evening, in the sitting room, and then go back to the bedroom. If you do that, then I can guarantee your results. You're going to fail. That's just a fact. Now, when you wake up in the morning, first things first, connect with your creator and do 3 things. Number 1, pray and be grateful. What are the top 3 things you're grateful for in the world? This is what happens. Gratefulness is one of the most amazing, powerful forces of bringing up a positive karma in your life. 3 things that I'm grateful for today. That means you're starting off the day 10 times better than 90% of the people in the world. What am I grateful for today? Write them down. After you do your prayer, your gratefulness prayer, and you prepare yourself, then you say, okay, next, what am I going to do? I'm going to meditate. Now, when I talk about meditation, people are like, oh my God, what is meditation? Isn't it? Somebody told me, isn't meditation satanic? I said, no, not meditating satanic. I said, you go and meditate on your Bible. Is that satanic? So that is what you mean. Yes, damn straight, that's what I mean. Meditate on the word of God. Meditate, I don't know, whatever. Go to the internet, go to the Google player, what is that, app store, and type in meditation apps and get an app where you meditate for 10 minutes. It will ground you. After meditation, take your journal out and write out what you expect to win that day. Please notice, I didn't say what you expect to do. I said what you expect to win that day. Those are just 3. There's a lot more that I share in other deeper places, but those 3 morning routines will set you up to win. By the way, that is before you even say hello to the other half of you. Okay? Now some of you are saying, Coach, you have no idea. My husband, I can't tell him these things. Well, you tell your husband that Coach Phil said, what I do in the morning is the journey to our $1 million account. And if he doesn't agree, then you know what to do. Give him some results. Share with him why you're doing it. Give him the ability to also come with you, because if both of you get up, just imagine a couple that gets up and prays together and meditates together and journals together. And by the time you get out of your bedroom, you are on a different level. You're going to be looking good. You're going to have a great positive energy. Your children are going to feel it. They're going to see it. And I guarantee you're going to be winning. That is what high performers do. Number 2, the evening routines is number 1. In terms of evenings, please, whatever you do, do not have deep conversations before you go to bed. Please, please, please. Don't go back home and start talking about the CPU could not ping to the IP. And then you say, do not say that stuff to your wife or husband. Dude, you won't be able to sleep. One of the most important things for high performers is rest. Rest, rest, rest. Okay, that's number two. Please, whatever you do in the evenings, do your best to have your meal at least 3-4 hours before you go to bed. And finally, the bedroom, ladies and gentlemen, for just two things: for sleeping and having sex. That is it. Don't take your phone. Your phone has been designed for you to be, you've been programmed. You're addicted to the phone. Now, those of you who are not, please forgive me, but I know 90% of the people on the call know what I'm talking about. I want you to try it for a week. Leave your phone out of the bedroom for a week. And see how great rest you're going to have. I tell you guys, I've not had the television in my house for over 20 years. Spend the money on your biggest nightmare and problem. Let's go. Number two, you must have an achievement that you want so bad. My biggest pusher of my dreams tells me, if you're not willing to die for your goals, then they're not going to be achieved. If you're not willing to die for your goals, I see that in my mind all the time. This guy tells me all the time. He told me a long time ago, and I don't know if he even remembers, okay? And his name is called Jeffrey Samagana. You guys should check him out. He has told me several times, if you're not willing to die for your goals, it doesn't matter. What am I talking about? You can achieve anything you want in life, but you have to get clear about what you want. Reverse engineer the objective. I want to make $10,000 this year. What does that mean? I must make at least $6,000 per month. What does that mean? That means that I have to make at least $2,000 per week. What does that mean? That every day I have to make 20 calls. That is called reverse engineering. What does making 20 calls every day means? That means that I have to be sending out 100 emails to get 20 phone calls to be able to make the money that I want. Reverse engineer your objectives. Take a whole day out. Go sit somewhere alone and reverse engineer your objectives. That is what high performers do. Why? When they start to go after their goals, they are unstoppable because they don't have distractions. Which brings me to a story. I went to meet my other very good friend, Coach Cobus, and again, we were doing fire walking training. And it was me and my team because I like to, and I believe that if your team is growing, you're also growing at the same time. So we go, and one of the events that we do at the fire walking training is we go for what is called the lion walk. Now, I don't know about you, but walking with a lion is a crazy thing. So he actually surprised me the first time. He said, "Oh, we're going to go somewhere in the morning and we're just going to walk around the game park." So I thought, yeah, that's cool. You know what? Let's go walk around the game park. Who cares? So we go to walk around the game park. Little did I know we were going to walk with lions. We get there and the guy comes and says, "Hi, how are you? My name is some South African name," and he tells me what he says. Everybody get a stick. He gives all of us a stick and says, "In a minute, I'm going to open, and 5 lions are going to come out." I said, "Well, what did you just say?" He said, "Yes, 5 lions are going to come out." Now we were in a position where you can't run, okay, because we had been put into an enclosure. So I'm thinking, okay, now if you pretend every day to be a strong coach, now is your time to show up. Anyway, they open the cage and 5 lions come out. These lions have been obviously 10. Anyway, the guy says, "We're going to take a walk for about an hour. Okay, we're going to take pictures, but we want you to understand that you have to get in touch with the vibration of the lions." Okay, so these lions come out, and man, if you've been next to a lion, you will know what I'm talking. It is the most amazing experience. Okay, first you're petrified. Okay, and then you're like, okay, they're not eating anybody yet. Okay, I don't want to be the first one. Okay, so then you're like, okay, but I can't be seen not doing. So I put myself out there. I say, okay, well, let's walk. So as we begin to walk, I'm getting used to it. They're taking pictures, and these guys who are walking with the lions, there was another 3 guys. They had in one pocket, one guy had a small pouch on the side. and they had raw pieces of meat. And as we walked, when the lions tried to walk away, they would throw pieces of meat to them and they would come back. Why? Because they wanted us to have great pictures. They wanted us to have a great experiment. So after we had walked for about 25 minutes, all right? Some of you are asking, Coach, are you standing or not? Yes, I'm standing. That is how I teach, okay? So as we were walking after we had done for about 35 minutes walking, all of a sudden we see one of the lion's hair goes up and it stops, and in the distance, long distance away, there was this big gazelle. You guys know a gazelle, one of those big, juicy gazelle, one of those that you've seen lions that, grab and eat like crazy. So one of these beautiful gazelles is not too far. It's about, say, 400 meters away, all right? Now, all of a sudden, all these lions get into hunting mode, okay? And their hair goes up, and they begin to go slowly, and they begin to go down like this, okay? Especially one of them that was it was the first one to see the gazelle, and you could clearly tell it was hunting time. Now, if you know anything about lions and hunting, that is a time you don't mess with. But this is what happened. This is the point I need you to get. These guys who were in charge of the tour, they brought out the other small pieces of meat and they threw at the lions, and the lions were distracted. All the 5 lions, they threw meat at them, and they completely forgot about the big, juicy lion, gazelle in the fire, okay? And I think it was me and Hassan and Helen and Jennifer, and we were like, "Wow!" Before we didn't take it serious. Why? Because we're thinking whatever, Then after that, we got back and realized, guess what? That is a metaphor for life. You are so focused on the small things. You are so focused on the small goals. You don't have a bigger goal. Those lions could have chased that gazelle down, eaten it, and had a blast for, eaten for 3 days, because what? It looked nice and big and juicy. Instead, they were focused on these little small pieces of meat that were being thrown at them by these guys. The lions did not have a great vision. They didn't have a great focus. My question to you is, how distracted are you? What are those small things that take you away from building your legacy? What are those small things that are distracting you from building what you need to do? What are those small things that take you away from your big dream of making sure that your children go to private school and you do what you got to do? What are those small things that keep distracting you from your objective? Which brings me to the next point, the power of focus. Where focus goes, energy goes. Where energy goes, you get results. Most of us are focused on 10,000 things. No wonder we are masters of none. Have you ever seen somebody who tries to chase 2 rabbits? They end up catching none. High performers pick one thing and go after it like crazy with all their heart and soul. My question to you right now is, number one, what is your objective? Is it big enough to prevent you from being distracted by small things? Is it big enough to prevent you from running after 2 rabbits because you'll catch none? I had somebody talk to me tell me in LinkedIn, "Oh no, but you see, being a generalist will creates what? I don't know what he said. Okay, being a generalist or creates communities or something." I said to him, "How long have you been in business?" He said, I've been 6 years. I said, "What do you do?" And he couldn't tell me what he does. Okay, he said, "I am in sales and leadership, but I also help out people in meditation." I said, "How is your client list?" He said, "Man, I'm struggling." I said, "Are you surprised? Why? Nobody knows you as an expert. Why? Your focus is all over the place. Where focus goes, energy goes. Where energy goes, you get results." My question to you is, how focused are you? Because high performance means you pick one thing, you put your heart and soul in it until you make it work. There's nobody who started off doing 10,000 things. No, they start off with one thing. They become a master at that one thing. Then they can venture out after they've mastered it. Next, resisting impulses. You must be able to resist impulses from instant gratification to attain more self-control, because business is delayed gratification. This is the biggest problem that we have as business people. I have struggled with it, and I know that there's some of you who struggle with it. That's why I talk about it. Okay, I might give you another slide that tells you a bit more about those. How many times do you check your phone, for example. Some of you right now, you're listening to this, but guess what? Haha. You are checking the phone, you're cooking, you're doing this, you have impulses. You are, how many times some of you bite your nails, some of you, before even, your phone hasn't rung, but you're wondering, why hasn't anybody called me? By the way, I used to be like that. There are times if my phone didn't ring, or somebody didn't call me, and now I would say, oh my God, people don't love me. I don't give a damn if they love me as long as I'm working on producing the best consulting business on the planet. I don't care if they don't call me. But it took me time to understand that I must resist my instant gratification. Now, let us go a little bit deeper here. Instant gratification means that you're not willing to pay the price. Instant gratification is video games. Instant gratification is sugar. Instant gratification is pornography. Instant gratification is masturbation. Instant gratification is short-term quickies. Instant gratification is one-night stands. Did I say to you earlier that you might not like me very much? Oh, I love you too. Thank you for that. You must resist those impulses, otherwise they're going to kill you. Otherwise, they're going to take everything away that you work for. You must resist checking your phone. You must resist that little small job. You must resist that little, oh my God, my son is getting married, and if you're my friend, I'm sure you will come. Shut up. Go to these meetings when you've made some money. You're much more useful to people when you have money, when you're rich. There's nothing as bad looking as a broke six-pack. Okay, I'm going to stop coming after you guys. But I know for a long time that unless somebody challenges you, you guys are going to stay where you are, and I'll not have done my job. Eat clean, eat clean, eat clean, eat clean. I must confess right here, my most favorite food on the planet has always been fresh fish and chapati. If you have eaten chapati from Mombasa and or Dar es Salaam, you know what I'm talking about. Those women make chapatis that are out of this world. They are sweet, they're beautiful, they have layers, they have ghee, they have, you should see my face. I wish I could show you, but you got to pay for that. And the fresh fish, it's amazing. If you have a good tilapia, well cooked with oh man, and you combine that, guess what? It has been my biggest problem. That is why if you saw me 5 years ago, I was much bigger than I am now. Why? I was not eating clean. I was eating late. Most importantly, as a culture, we don't understand that your guts, what you put in your stomach, has a direct correlation on how your mind works. That is why productivity in Kampala, across the Kampala region and or in Africa generally, productivity in the afternoon goes down by 42%. Why? People go and eat buffet. What is on buffet? All kinds of crap. Now, I put my hand up. I'm guilty as charged. I used to do this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I do not say that all of a sudden you're going to step up, you're going to get up and do it. But I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. The people who have weight problems, those of you on here and you have a weight problem, your problem is not that you're not working out. Your problem is that you're eating the wrong stuff. Most importantly, you eat too much. That's right. Betty, I hope you know what you're getting into. If they call you and complain, it's just my words. I have no responsibility for these words. I just say what God is telling me right now. Eat clean. When you eat, you are what you eat. Eat clean to be more productive. You will look better. You will live longer. You'll be more energized. You will have great sex. For God's sake. Stop eating crap. Stop the chapati. Stop. Look, have you noticed that the cancer rates have gone up in the country because of this? Every freaking place has got Chikomando and all this stuff. Okay? You look at our fathers and mothers and grandparents, they never used to eat this stuff. I was on top of the mountain in Bali. Okay, and I met a 101-year man. This was an amazing man. He, actually, the reason I got to speak to this guy is we were at a wedding for one of his grandchildren. He was 101, okay? And I would tell you, he's the grandfather to one of my ex-girlfriends, okay? Now, I go and I'm talking, I'm sitting next to this guy. And at about 7 o'clock, when the wedding is just beginning, if you've been to Mbale and you know how those guys party, you will know exactly what I mean. This guy gets up at 7 o'clock, he grabs his chicken, which was given to him, and he walks out of the wedding. And I'm thinking, dude, where are you going? So I follow him and I say, hey, Dad, by the way, he was a teacher and he speaks fantastic English. So I said, where are you going? He says, I have a routine. I just told you guys about routine. And he says, I must be in my bed by 8 o'clock. I said, what? No wonder you're 101. He said, yes, by what? And he said, you watch. In about 10 minutes, my wife is going to follow me. True to it, his wife stood up and followed him. So I got more interested. I had to walk with him all the way. By the way, we walked for about 30 minutes to his place. And I'm asking him, so what else did you do? He said, number one, I don't eat late. Okay, right now I'm going back. It's a bit late, but I'm going to eat some food. I said, what kind of food do you eat? He says, if I don't recognize the name of the food, I can't eat it, which means pizza, fried chicken, and all this nonsense. He's not going to eat it. Why? He doesn't recognize it. Why are we getting sicker right now? It's diet. It's what we're putting into our stomachs, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? We get addicted to it. We get addicted to the sugar. I'm telling you right now, if you don't take anything else from me, learn to eat clean, you will be surprised. You will be surprised. By the way, it is one of the greatest things I've ever done, to learn to eat clean. Cut out the buffet. Just go and eat some vegetables and chicken. Okay? By the way, guess what? When you do that, other people are going to look at you and say, look at him, look at her, what's wrong with you? Who do you think you are? Well, your biggest problem is going to be the people who are closest to you, your relatives. To reinvent yourself, you must do something that is regardless of other people's opinion. Discipline, 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 discipline. Discipline yourself to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it, but you know it is what will change your life. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you cannot discipline yourself to wake up on time, to do the routine, to say no to sugar, to say no to chipari, to say no to useless wedding meetings and useless parties and this. If you don't have that discipline, I can tell you, my friend, your goals will never come to pass. You cannot discipline yourself to the necessary pillars, to a new frame of mind. This will not work out. No one does this perfectly all the time, but you must start somewhere. Do something simple. Do something small. Discipline yourself to say, you know what? I get my cup of tea in the morning. I don't eat until 2 o'clock. This is what is going to happen. Between 4 or 5 when you wake up and 2 o'clock, you're going to perform so well. Why? There is enough energy in your brain. It is not being disturbed by the mandazi, chapati, and all this nonsense you put into your system. Do a nice cup of coffee and then intermittent fast until 2 o'clock, then put in something light. That means that while you're awake, you are performing as a high performer. High performance is about you being able to produce more in little time than anybody else. And then, of course, consistency. It's not the one time that you do it. It's all the time. It's the months and months of executing the same routines, the daily actions, your plan to get where you want to go. Okay? That is what it takes. And finally, it is loving the pain. This young man I told you earlier is not willing to pay the price, but he's coming to me so that he can say, oh, I went to Coach Phil and it didn't work. Loving the pain, ladies and gentlemen, means you're going to have to sacrifice. I was born and bred in the most beautiful city on the planet. And that beautiful city is called Ginger. Now, I don't care where you come from. Some of you are like, you haven't been to Ginger when you're saying that stuff. If you have been to Ginger, you know what I'm talking about. That actually excites me and also annoys a lot of people. No, I'm not Msoga, but I love Ginger with all my heart and soul. Now, I went away from this beautiful part of the world for a long time. For about 15 years, I went away and I come back. And naturally, if you know the source of the Nile and where the Nile goes away to go all the way to Egypt, and you see the sun setting on the river Nile, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to beauty of Ginger. Okay, enough of that. So one time I go back to Ginger. And naturally, what you do when you go back to places where you grew up, you're going to find people that you grew up with. Now, these people you grew up with are still doing some of the stuff that you used to do when you're growing up, okay? And my pals in Ginger, and I love them to bits, and, you know, they're my pals. I can never get up. I had the best time of my life when I was growing up. Anyway, so I go and I'm talking to these guys. I go on a Thursday. The guys are like, yo, Philo is in town, da, da, da. So what do? Like they've always done, they go to the bar at about 5 o'clock. And usually, before I left, we used to go to the bar at 5, would leave at 2 a.m. every freaking day. All right? Not every freaking day, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever. Okay, and what do you do when you go to the bar? You drink alcohol, okay? You eat bad food, you talk women, you talk football, you fornicate, you go home. Yes, that is a life that I was living, and I'm not ashamed of it. But remember, where I'm coming from has nothing to do with where I'm going. So you judge me at your own risk. By the way, if you're judging me, then you're judging yourself too. Ah, got you. Anyway, so one time I go back and we're having a drink, and come about 8 o'clock, I stand up and I tell the guys, hey guys, I've got to leave. I've got to go, and I've got to go now. And you should have seen their reaction. They all turned around and looked at me and said, what? Philo, you're leaving? I said, yes, I'm leaving. They said, man, what? How? Why? Who do you think you are? You mean you don't party anymore? You have changed. Damn straight I have changed. Because if I want to earn the right to be able to be a high performance coach, to be able to change people's lives, I must understand that rest is important. I must be able to live and resist the urge and impulse to drink myself silly, go home, do my journaling, go to bed, rest, wake up and work on myself so that I can earn the right to be here to serve you. That means I have to reinvent myself regardless of what other people say. The pain you got to go through is the pain that is worth paying. Yes, I have changed. And they say, oh, you have changed. I say, damn straight I have changed. And yes, you, ladies and gentlemen, you have to change. You have to reinvent yourself. I want to meet you in a year's time, and I look at you and you say, damn, you have changed. And you say, yes, I've changed. Why? I am becoming the person that I ought to become for me to earn my goals. That is what it takes. You must sacrifice. You will miss birthdays. You will miss anniversaries. You will miss going to parties. You will even miss barring people. You will forget your wife's birthday. If that is what it takes, as long as at the end of it, you leave them something proud to look at, to say, I am proud I'm your husband. I am proud you're my daddy. That is what it takes. You never achieve anything by playing small and being a pussy about things. You pay the price. And yes, your family will resist. So be it. Now, if you don't like me, that is okay. But it's a fact. You got to pay the price, because your old self will be in war with the person you are trying to become. It will fight you all the way. It will do whatever it takes. Your old self will say, who do you think you are? Your old self, you'll say, you know what, I'm not eating lunch anymore. Your old self will say, you're going to get ulcers if you don't eat. Shut up. When's the last time that Jesus got ulcers for fasting? Embrace the pain and discomfort until that voice fades away, where you take charge of your life, where you are, you know what, I am in charge. I decide when we eat. I decide when we sleep. When you do that, then you now have the desire deep inside you that will take you where you need to go. My time is up, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but I've had such a good time. Betty, my time is up. I don't know if I should keep going or not. Let me see what is on the next slide. What's on the next slide? Before you go, Betty, before you go, let me just go. No, let's first go back. Let's first go back on that one. Okay. Let us just recap quickly. Okay. No. Back, Betty, back. If you want to become a high performer, no. Next. No. Let's go back to the routines. That has routines. Come on, Betty. That one. Thank you. Let us recap. Number one, you must make a decision. You must have clarity. You must be willing to pay the price and pay the price. Don't just talk about stuff. Most of you are coming to this. In fact, Betty, if you could, you would. Don't allow people to just come and enjoy these conversations and go and do nothing. You should have a report card for everybody. If they're going to be part of this, the testimonials should be positive. Get your routines in place. Have objectives. Know what you want and reverse engineer it. Focus on one thing until you attain it and then move to the next one. Resist impulses. That helps you to take charge of your life. Eat clean. Eat clean. Eat clean. Eat clean. We have some of the most amazing food in this world. I tell you, Uganda is the most, we have got some food which is still untainted with all this rubbish. Discipline yourself to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. But just do it because it will give you the results. Be consistent. It is not a one-off. It's not a one-night stand. Do it like a marriage every freaking day. Then finally, love the pain. Do whatever it takes, because your old self will fight you to try and take you back to default, because it is much more comfortable in mediocrity. Step up your game. Let's go to the next one. I just want to summarize in 5 minutes. All the thoughts, all the energy, all the time you invest into the things that do not contribute to your success is energy away from your dreams. You must sacrifice them or your dreams will become the sacrifice. I want you to tattoo that on your heart. Next, Betty. All business and personal success at the end of the day is delayed gratification. It is the sum of the compoundments of the sum of the small efforts. Every day you must chip away. Every day, daily actions we put in, day out. Now, at this stage, I want to come back and say, hey guys, listen, I know I come at you hard, but that is what your coach should do. But on the other hand, I must tell you that I know it's not easy. I know it's going to be tough. You might say, I'm going to fast for a week, and then you lose it on Wednesday. You don't give up. You start again on Thursday, and then the Thursday becomes the Monday. The goal is not in giving up on yourself. The goal is in betting on yourself to say, you know what, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this happen. The job for you is to know, you know what, it's not going to happen overnight. For you to build a good muscle and have a good body like mine, you got to take some time. By the way, Daniel, I only say this because I'm trying to catch up with you. So just deal with it, man. I can't help it. All right. Next, Betty. Your biggest distractions that you must fight with all your being. Instant gratification. Common impulses we have in society as entrepreneurs, as human beings. Number one, checking on social media all the time, every time. How many of you have not checked? Betty, what are you doing to my slide? How many of you have been on your social media since morning? Okay. Some of you, your phone would get annoyed if you didn't check on it every 2 minutes. Okay. Picking up the phone to check for notification. If picking up the phone does not make you $1, why are you picking it up? I almost forgot that I'm with Betty's group. I almost said something where Betty would have gone, God bless you, coach. Craving sugars, that is a drug, ladies and gentlemen. Biting your nails, masturbation, being like, oh my God, I want to be like. Betty, what are you doing to my slide? You're putting stuff there. Being liked for everybody. Oh my God, what will they say if they don't like me, if I don't go? Yeah, by the way, I notice some of you go to church not to pray, but to be seen, to be praying. Hello. Going out to party and drink, playing video games, smoking, hitting the snooze button, buying some things impulsively. It is time to cut back on all these things. Get a list of 10 things, walk into the supermarket and buy 10 things. I'm challenging you because most of you go in the supermarket with 10 things, you come out with 22, and then you start regretting, oh my God, how did I end up here? Duh, it is called destructive impulses. Let's go, Betty. Next one. Next one. So we can finish this. High performance and success equals discipline and sacrifice. You can't, and one of my coach friends keeps telling me, hey, you have two choices. You're either making money or making excuses. You can't do the both. You cannot do both. You either make money or you make excuses. Discipline and sacrifice equals your success. How willing are you to be disciplined to do what you don't want to do? Okay, are we hacked? I don't know. Let's just stick in there. Let's go, Betty, before the hacker catches me. Let's keep going. Next one. Okay, I've spoken about this, okay? Discipline equals loving the pain. If you want to get abnormal results, you need to do the abnormal stuff. You need to surround yourself only with people who are going to help you to be abnormal. Sometimes you have to isolate yourself, okay? Those of you who are coaches, mentors, and people like that on this call, I want to give you a challenge. I want you to isolate yourself 3 out of 4 days every week for the next month. Out of those 3 days, you do not get into contact with nobody. All you do is focus on having the best program on the planet. Focus on being your best version. Talk to me in a month's time and see how things are going to change for you drastically, okay? Next time you are in the gym and you are in excruciating pain, take control of your mind, push your body. When it wants to stop, that is when you start counting the reps. I challenge you to that, okay? Next time a business challenge arises, you don't back down. You confront it, you look pain in the eye and say, I am absolutely going to demolish you because I'm in charge and my dreams are much more important. Next time you want to back out of your work block is where you're doing things and say, for the next 2 hours, I'm not touching my phone, I'm not doing anything, okay? Because you are losing focus, you don't stop. You fight through it. You right through the barrier to retain a longer focus capability. Next time you feel like going out, masturbating, drinking, fill in the blank. And next time you want to do any of those things, okay? Stop and take charge and focus on your bigger picture or the opposite of that. In your journey, push the barriers and commit to new heights in every single area where challenges arise, and be relentless. Be relentless. Be relentless. Let's go. Next one. Let's go. Be relentless. Be relentless. Next one, Betty. Okay. These ones, I bet you share this, okay? Pitfalls to avoid. Avoid trying to be busy, okay? Don't do busy work. Do effective work. Lack of action. Most of you on here, okay? I'm going to get a card. Betty, I want everybody who's been on here, and I want to check on them in 3 months and ask them, did you take action? Or did you get this stuff and then just go on living your life, okay? Why? Why do you come here and then just live without taking action? Huh? Yes, as your coach, I've got to hold you at a higher level because I see where you could be, not where you are. The biggest challenge all of you have, the biggest challenge we all have is that we had the wrong parenting, okay? Our parents screwed up our lives. They didn't tell us that for you to get where you need to go, you must work harder than anybody else. One of the things I'm going to recommend to you is this book. This book changed my life because 99% of all the clients I see who are African, they have a self-esteem problem. They have a self-esteem problem. I will tell you why I recommend this book, okay? I was watching T. Harv Eker, and he was interviewing multi-millionaires, 6 of them. And he asked them, at what stage did you realize you could earn $1 million? All of them, except one, said one thing. He said, when my self-esteem and confidence went to the next level. The times that you build your greatest self-esteem is when you're a young person. The time that you build your self-esteem is between 3 and 12. Who are the biggest influencers in your life between 3 and 12? It's your parents. Now, the reason you don't have great self-esteem is your parents. And yes, I told my mom that, and she knows it. So don't think that I'm coming after only your mom. No, even my mom knows it. You must earn the right. Know that the input isn't going to go away directly. I'll give you the title a little bit later. Let's go, Betty. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. I want to finish in time. I want to try and finish in time. This is the master algorithm. It doesn't matter what is true. Only what you believe is true, because with discipline and work, that will become true. I think this person who's writing on this screen was so pissed off with what I was saying that they decided to be a distraction. But they didn't realize that this is the against all odds group. We don't give a damn about what other people think about us, do we? So we keep rocking and rolling, okay? Because it doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe is true. Because with discipline and hard work, that too will become true. Let's go, Betty. Let's go, Betty. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I come to the end of it, I want to say, let's get to work and recreate our lives for the better forever, okay? It is a very powerful concept where we say something might seem impossible now, but with work, belief, and hard work and time, everything is possible. I want to take this opportunity, next slide, please, to say to you guys that, you know what? Everything you ever wanted in your life, you can achieve. And I don't say that just to say it, but I'm telling you what, you better believe it, okay? I was born and bred in Ginger. If you see my circumstances of where I came from to where I have gotten, it has nothing to do with a silver spoon. It has everything to do with this particular equation right here. Number one, I started to change my beliefs. I started to believe that I can become somebody. Then when that belief kicked in, I started to take massive action with confidence. Then that action started to give me results that I was becoming somebody else, the number one high performance coach on the planet. I say that to myself every day. Before I sleep, before I wake up, I say it over and over again. I said it when I was running the London Marathon 10 years ago. It came to pass. What am I sharing with you? If you do this stuff, you take massive action, you experience reality, you get feedback, you do again over and over and over, you will then appreciate that who am I is the wrong question. Where you are coming from is irrelevant. The most important question in your life is, who am I becoming? If I have not stirred something in your heart to, number one, to say you can do it. Number two, to know that you've got to do whatever it takes to become a high performer, then I haven't done a good job. However, if you're totally pissed off with me today, I am so happy with that. I hope that we have a cup of coffee one of these days so that you can tell me why you're so annoyed, so that I can tell you that that has nothing to do with what I said, but with everything that has got to do with the inside of you. Next slide, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I come to my end of time with you here, I must tell you, okay, this is a hypothesis, okay? Some of you were asking earlier, I think it was the last one. Sorry, I've been on too many of these today, so I get mixed up, okay? This hypothesis everybody must have, okay? You're in a position where you're asking yourself, hey, listen, I only have $500 in my bank right now, okay? I want to start a consulting business. What do? You go out, you start a consulting business. That is the blue and yellow there. And then the result of that is that you don't get any clients, okay? You don't get any clients. Now, what does that mean? You go back and reiterate. You say, you know what? I started off the wrong way. What I need to do is I need to get onto Coach Phil's free course, and he will teach me on how to start a consulting business that is a killer. Ha! Betty, did you just see that master one there? Yeah. That is how you make a hypothesis work. You are in a position right now. You're fat. You're not healthy. All right? Now, when I say you're fat and you get annoyed, guess what? That is you, not me. Okay? By the way, I used to be very healthy too. Now you say, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym. You go to the gym, but guess what? By the way, the yellow circle is going to the gym. The green circle is after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nothing has changed. Okay, you go back and literally say, what is the problem? The problem is not the gym. The problem is when you come from the gym, you go and eat pork and cassava and chapati and drink beer, and that is the reason why the weight is not going. So you go back and say, okay, what am I? I am fat. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to the gym, but I'm going to change my food. Then 2 weeks later, you have lost 2 pounds, and you're like, wow, it was always a diet thing. It had nothing to do with the gym. The gym was complementing the diet. That is how you do what you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who are looking to take this to the next level, you know what to do. Betty, let's go next slide, please. Let's go. This is why I have to say, yes, I might have come after you, but it has been an honor. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I don't take this for granted. And yes, my style has always been in your face, but that is why you see people like Betty stepping up and doing what they have to do. Because I realized a long time ago, if somebody sent the elevator down for me, they were not kind to me. My first conversation with Jeff Semaganda was that, look, you have to work hard to make this happen. And I hope that I was able to touch somewhere in your heart to say to you that it is possible, but you got to work. Creating high performance is not for the faint-hearted. It's about sacrificing. It's about doing whatever it takes. Okay, now if some of you on here want to do what I do, I know Betty, I know Daniel, you want to create some amazing things in your life, right now, the most important part of your life is about teaching other people. If you want to learn how to do that, hey, you got it there, okay? Join me on my free training on how to start and grow your consultancy and online training business, okay? And that is the one-stop shop for everything. I teach you what I've done in the last 18 years. I guarantee you, you will be successful. So until next time, Betty, next slide. Until next time, please remember it has been an absolute pleasure, an honor to be here. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Remain hungry, remain humble. Most importantly, understand that you have the audacity to live life on your terms. Thank you. Over to you, Betty.